All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is going to be press releases. Now, press releases, they sort of fall into SEO strategies more than promotion, but I want to include it here anyway, and the reason is because a good press release can get picked up by reputable news websites that you can then list on your website. So sort of like the as seen on type logos and stuff like that, which is huge for credibility. I mean, you're going to build some serious street cred with these kind of things. So if you have a press release that gets put out and some sort of like NBC affiliate or something, a local news channel website post, or they pick up that press release and post it on their website, then you can say as seen on NBC. I mean, you know, and that's why you see sometimes you see these websites where they have these things and you're like, really, these guys were, you know, seen on this kind of stuff? But it's usually just because they did a press release that got picked up, and so then they're saying they were seen on that. So that's how that typically works. And press releases can really help to get some backlinks and things like that, which is, you know, why I said it maybe falls into the SEO strategies a little bit more. But you can find incredible press release writers on Fiverr.com. That's 5 and then RR.com. So FIVERR.com. You can find some for real cheap. So they're cheap enough where you can try a couple of those people and always do your search for them based on reviews and check the reviews to make sure there's a quick turnaround time and that they did good press releases. Now, some of the Fiverr gigs that you can get even include releasing press releases out to the different news wires and stuff like that. But I find spending a couple $100 on a more legit service to release the press releases is usually worth it. And I know a lot of investors use marketersmedia.com. And then another one is prweb.com, which is a bigger one. It's been around for a long time. They're more expensive, but I think they probably get some better reach. But when considering these things, and sometimes it's not even so much the press release and where it's being submitted to, it's more of what the press release is about, right? Because if you consider what is a press release, it's basically something you're releasing to the press that is a newsworthy story. And newsworthy is actually the key there. So even if you pay for PRWeb, you know, the more expensive one to put out your press release, and it's not really newsworthy stuff, it's not going to matter. I mean, it's all about having something that's a little bit more newsworthy. So the biggest thing to remember is when having a press release written or writing one yourself, as I used to do, you really need to try to come up with something that's actually newsworthy. And that can be harder than you think. But, you know, just like having a piece written on Sell Your House Fast in San Diego isn't going to get picked up by too many places. You need a story. Something like guy loses hand in pinball machine and sells his house fast to an investor. I mean, I don't know. It's just an example. I don't know. Someone's probably going to end up doing that. I'd like to know how it works. But, you know, it's really a lot harder than you might think. But coming up with great press release newsworthy things to get picked up by a lot more places is going to be much more beneficial than finding a more expensive service to release your press release. So consider that. I mean, it's just more important. Spend more time trying to figure out what you're going to actually write about or have written about, something that's going to likely get picked up by more news sources. And, you know, thinking about that, we have a Lead Propeller VIP Facebook group that all Lead Propeller customers get to be a part of when they sign up. I need to set up a post. I'll probably set up a post in there to have everybody share ideas for press releases so that we can maybe collectively think of some of these things that work well. But anyway, sorry, I'm thinking out loud here. Okay, so more newsworthy it is, the more legit news websites will pick it up, and that's what you want. So the benefit there is that you're going to get that recognition from some of these sites. You'll be able to use their logos onto your website and say that you were seen on those. It's going to be big. But the press releases also allow you to have links to your site in them, so that helps with SEO also. And so that's the other reason for that. And the more legit the site is, the better, you know, it's going to be for SEO for you. So, you know, one time I even made one of my press releases made it onto Yahoo News, and this was a long time ago. And it's funny because I think my dad still has a printout of that Yahoo homepage with my article on it. It was pretty cool. But anyway, let's move on. So that's press releases, very powerful. Some people might say that press releases aren't really all that great for SEO because a lot of times they have no follow links, and we'll talk about that, what that is, more in the SEO episode. But basically, even no follow links help your website. So, and I've actually seen somewhere the news sites, have the links, and they do follow. So don't just believe everything that you hear on the internet, obviously. So hope you're enjoying these podcast episodes. Please leave a rating and review on iTunes if you're able. I greatly appreciate that, and be sure to, if you feel like I'm not covering something in each of these sections that you wanted to hear about or wanted to get more detail on, please go to facebook.com/flippingjunkie. That's JUNKIE, and just leave your messages there, and let me know about them so I can try to cover everything you want to find out about. So the next podcast we'll be talking about the pay-per-click stuff, AdWords, Bing ads, and then the next one after that will be about SEO, content marketing, so on and so forth. So you guys have a great week. Thank you so much for listening to Flipping Junkie Podcast. Really do appreciate it, and talk to you later.